Hey, what up everybody? It's Moss coming to you with a modern gameplay video. And today, we're going to play a little bit of this Mardu energy deck that's been kind of taking the format by storm. Now, just in case you haven't been paying attention, energy is a mechanic that first showed up in like 2015, 2016 when Kaladesh and Aether Revolt came out. And what energy is, it's basically an uninteractable counter. Well, mostly uninteractable that you can use for a variety of different things. In our deck, we're using it for Aether Hub to give ourselves mana of any color, for Galvanic Discharge to take out creatures of varying sizes, with Static Prison to exile our opponent's stuff, Unstable Amulet to get some cards and play them from exile and deal some damage, and for Guide of Souls to pump our creatures up. It's a very versatile mechanic in this deck. And really what we want to do here is we want to play Guide of Souls, play Aether Hub, get as much energy as we can, and start using that energy to either pump our creatures up or use it to start getting a bunch of things from exile and doming our opponents with damage off of our unstable amulets. We can also use Chthonian Nightmare with our energy to bring creatures back from the graveyard, but at the downside of sacking something. And this is where things start to get really interesting because we can sack creatures and get a lot of advantage off of them. Cards like Ajani Nakatl Pariah help us get some advantage off of the cards we sacrifice because if we get rid of a cat, Ajani flips into a planeswalker that can either make more bodies and deal damage, pump all the cats that we're playing, which with Ocelot Pride, we're making some pretty big cats. Or we can sack creatures with Ob Nixilis the Adversary, get an extra planeswalker, and start really forcing our opponent to make some really difficult choices. So the main board really wouldn't exist without the Modern Horizons 3 set or without the Lord of the Rings set thanks to Orcish Bowmaster. This is basically MH3 deck right here. The sideboard has a lot of the things that we would typically expect because of the MH3 meta. Damping Sphere to deal with Storm, Drannith Magistrate, and Sun Cleanser to deal with opposing energy decks, Obsidian Charmaw to deal with the abundance of Eldrazi decks, Harsh Mentor to deal with Nadu, and a single copy of Rending Volley. Now, when I saw this list in the 5.0s, which shout out to Fast Part right here, this Rending Volley kind of surprised me because it deals with Nadu, but it takes out so many other problematic permanents that exist in the sideboards of energy decks. It just kind of makes sense, and the fact that it's uncounterable is really good for us to consider too. Cards like Rending Volley and Flame Slash are gonna be pretty valuable, I think, as this format starts to develop and change with a, hopefully, incoming Nadu ban in the next couple of weeks. But we're going to run this through a Modern League today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, comment on the video, do all of those things. But I'll see you guys in match number 1. All right, match number 1, and we're going to be on the play like that for us. Okay, this hand is doing a whole lot of nothing. We've got 5 lands, Chthonian, and Galv Discharge. This is an easy mull. This hand is a keep, though. And we're kind of like grief-proof right now, which I love. Alright, so we're going to put back an extra land. And opponent reveals Chancellor of the Tangle. Interesting. Okay, so they're doing something ridiculous with a bunch of free things. Alright, we're just going to yield until their end step. That way we can get a... Okay, Hedge Maze and that. Put a Breeding Pool into the yard. And they're not doing anything with that mana. That's a little concerning. Well, let's go ahead and get all of our colors here and get a Raucous Theater. And we will happily put a Flage into the graveyard. Okay, third copy of Ajani's not great. But we'll go ahead and just play this one out. See what our opponent does. Hopefully they're not going to like interact with us in a major way. Okay. Static Prison. Let's go ahead and push for a little bit of damage. Now, we could flip a Johnny here. And we will keep this copy. Ooh, well, maybe. Maybe that was a little bit of a punt. We do get to build up our board some, but that might have been a mistake. Because we could have flipped it, made our cats just a little bit bigger. Yeah, that was a mistake. Huge punt on our part. Planar Genesis. Okay, our opponent's doing some interesting stuff here. I mean, we can get in for 5 this turn, which will be a little nice. Ooh, Allosaurus Rider. Okay. I know exactly what they're doing. They're doing Neoform things. Okay. Well, actually... Okay, they're Nourishing Shoaling. Drawing a bunch of cards. I mean, let's see all this through. Okay, I'm glad that our opponent is going through all of this. Huh. Okay. Doing another Summoner's Pact. Getting Heritage Druid. Noxious Revival. Okay, our opponent's really just going off here. They got 4 cards left. They play a Mox Amber. And a Springleaf Drum. Alright, you play all your Allosaurus Shepherds. You make some mana. Okay. That was an interesting kill. Yeah. You got it, opponent. GG's. Oh, brutal. Okay. So, in this matchup, Damping Sphere comes in for sure. And maybe we bring in Harsh Mentor. And the slow cards are gonna have to come out here. I almost want to say we get rid of the Flages and the Ob Nixilis because they're not doing a whole lot, but nor is this Miser copy of Sorin. So I think we'll just trim around the edges a bit. Maybe take out that Unstable Amulet and run it like that. Okay. We would like to play first. Man, that was kind of embarrassing almost. Okay, we'll keep this and hopefully do better this game. I mean, we'll play Harsh Mentor. Maybe deal him some damage. But we're going to start by going Raucous Theater. We'll look at what our opponent's doing, or what we have on top. That's okay. That's some action, I guess. And then we can go Harsh Mentor on 2. On 3, we can go for a Johnny and Nakatl Pride. Alright. And we'll pass. This is going to be interesting for sure. Okay, opponent takes some damage off of their polluted. That's great for us. Okay, they play a bolted Garden of Freylease. Not quite sure what our opponent's going to do. They play the Allosaurus Shepherd, and they're going for the combo again. Ooh, Archon is a good hit. Yeah, we are pretty cooked here. We are super dead, I think. I mean, we'll shock this in and play this out, but I don't think we're going to get where we want to in this instance. Yeah. And we will discard an Ocelot Pride. Yeah, we'll flip a Johnny. I'm not quite sure how we're going to deal with this Archon. I actually don't think we can right now, which is pretty unfortunate for us. And let's go ahead and just add a cat to the battlefield. And we will play out this Flage. I mean, we're buying ourselves just a little bit of life here. I don't think we can make it. Not here. Not right now. Yeah, I think we're going to lose because of this Archon. That's insane. Okay, so they're coming at us. We could drop this Ajani and get somewhere, or we could drop this Ocelot Pride and see what happens for us. I don't feel like either of these are super great options, all things considered. So we'll drop the Ocelot Pride, hope that we could maybe... Well, no, we're dying because that's all before attacks go through. Ugh, brutal. Alright, see you guys in the next one. I hate that. Alright, match number 2, and we're going to be on the play. We'll reveal Jeggy. And this hand does like everything we want it to. We will start by probably going Guide on 1, depending on what our draw is for the following turn. We might just go a Johnny and then swing with Guide. Let's see what our opponent chooses. Okay, we're gonna shock in this Guide of Souls and say go. Hopefully we don't see anything else like Neo form. Okay, it's mill. How do we feel about mill? Well, let's try to get rid of this crab. I actually think that's maybe the best thing for us to do right now. And then we'll have it set up to where we get the energy first. This is really important as far as the deck goes, just stacking the triggers correctly. Okay, we will cast this unstable amulet, gain some energy, and then we'll just move to combat and swing. Now, I actually want to just go over the top and deal as much damage as I can as quickly as I can. Okay, opponent's going to mill us for 6. There's a guide of marsh flats and a galvanic discharge. There's a Bowmaster, an Ob, and an Ocelot Pride. All of those would have been really good hits for us. We would like to hit an untapped land here because getting hit for 15 out of nowhere would be devastating. Ooh, they surgical our discharge. Okay. Yeah, they take all 4. Alright, so our only main board removal that we're going to be left with is the statics and the flages, because everything in their deck gets out of range of the Bowmaster. Alright, so what can we do here? Oh, and they're surgicaling our Obnixilis too. Okay. Man, they have all the hate prepared for us right now. Okay, so they know about the flage that we have. Okay. There's an Ajani. How much do we care? I think we have to do this. We have to try to not activate the unstable amulets, because taking extra cards out of our deck is the opposite of what we want to do. Okay, they drown in the lock, targeting that. Alright. If you got it, opponent, you got it. Alright. We'll get in for 2. So what's our opponent going to do here? Okay, Obero is pretty nice. They'll take our Ocelot Pride, a Sorin, and a Static Prism. Are they just going to go for a Tasha's here? Because Tasha's is pretty bad for us too. And our opponent just scoops it up. Alright, that's interesting. Okay, so what do we want against Mill? It's a very good question. So against mill, we do want to raise our mana value just a bit. We'll bring in the Harsh Mentors to deal with their fetch lands. And we will deal with really not a whole lot else that we can bring in. We can bring in the Rending Volleys to take out their crabs, but that's really not that great. And Obsidian Charmaw, as cool as it is, we're never casting it for less than 5 against them. I think we're just gonna bring those in and then say go. 62 is bad, but there are admittedly worse things that we could be doing against them. Reveal Gigantha. Okay. So here's where things can get bad. We can keep this hand, hope to top deck some untapped lands, and maybe survive. But I do think we just have to really risk it here and just lean into getting as much value as we can. Alright, there's a Guide of Souls. It doesn't look like our opponent has the Archive Trap, otherwise they would have snapped that off. Okay, they kept a card on top. There's a Hedron Crab and a fetch land. They'll mill us for 3 and 6. We had another Ocelot Pride on top, which would have been sick to go Pride. And then they just get 2 lands and then a Johnny. I do think that we should go for the Amped Raptor play here. And maybe go for a high mana value spell. Ooh, they hit the Ajanis. Okay. So this opponent knows that they're just trying to stop us from accruing a good bit of value. So those Harsh Mentors aren't going to be doing a lot. And I think the best thing that we can do is maybe just play this Ocelot Pride. No, I do think we have to go for the Amped Raptor play here, because if we can just get as many things out onto the battlefield as possible, that's really how we're going to win. Our life total isn't relevant, and they haven't shown Archive Trap yet. Okay. So we get the energy. We're going to go into Sorin here. We're going to gain some life. Sorin's probably the worst hit, and I'm really struggling to think of anything that we could play besides it. Because we have to gain 3 life to make it even worth it. Okay, opponent plays a Hedron Crab, mills us for 3 more. They hit Arena, Arid, and Amped Raptor. We're at 39 left in deck. And we have to gain all this life before post-combat main. Alright, there's Tasha's. We're down to 22. They hit 2 Flage. Okay. So, we're gaining the energy. We are doing this. We're not going to extort here, but we are going to gain this energy. We did hit a Harsh Mentor. No extorting. And we're going to play this Ocelot Pride. No extorting. And we will swing. Now the question is, do we want to give Sorin lifelink? Because we gain 3, and Sorin deals damage to any target equal to the amount of life that we gained. So I think we are going to use this ability, and we are going to hand this to Sorin to throw a bunch in the air. We got 20 more cards left in deck. Okay. So let's minus Sorin, deal all that damage there. Opponent's at 5 life. Make some cats, gain some life. Okay, our opponent has to be able to kill us right here. And the problem is, they might be able to. This is the only time I think we've managed to flip Sorin every time that we've had him in our deck. Okay. Opponent mills us for 3. They hit Amped Raptor, Ocelot Pride, and Marsh Flats. If they have another Tasha, they might have us. If they drew an Archive Trap, they have us. They did hit our planes, and yeah, so I don't think we actually have any basics that we can get. But we do have enough of an ability to go up in the air and over our opponent. Like, we have a lot of outs next turn. We just have to make sure that they don't have any ability to go around what we're doing. But let's see what they got. Okay, so it just looks like they're going to cycle Fractured Sanity, which I don't mind that. Alright. Mill us for 4. I'm not really sure what else they could do to us here. And Crypt Incursion's too much. Alright, we get there. Sweet. See you guys in match number 3. Alright, match number 3, and we get to be on the play. Love winning these die rolls. Okay. So, we'll do this, and... you know what? This hand's actually super keepable. So 4 lands is a lot, but we do want to hit our land drops. Guide of Souls and a couple other things are pretty good. And then we can Amped Raptor into one of our 3 drops, which would be pretty nice. The only bad hit off of Amped Raptor kind of just feels like Chthonian Nightmare. And even then, it's not a bad hit. It's just, it's a little medium if everything doesn't go according to plan immediately. Alright. So let's see what our opponent does here. They go Flooded Strand. They're not cracking it, which is nice. Okay. And now, a Johnny's pretty good. I think we're just going to go ahead and get all of our colors here. So we'll shock in this Blood Crypt, or this Sacred Foundry. And chances are they'll fetch here. No, okay. Sick. You know what? We will cast it and then just hit for 0. Admittedly, that doesn't feel like a good one either, but yeah, let's punt. Swinging at our opponent for 3 feels pretty decent. And what did they have? Now that they cracked their Flooded Strand, they're gonna get a Surveil land of some sort. But what kind of Surveil land is gonna tell us a lot. Okay, Meticulous Archive, and they go Keep on Top. Probably means that it's a prismatic ending, because I imagine this is Jeskai control. Not just blue-white so far. Do we want to go for another Amped Raptor here? I feel like a Johnny's probably the better move, all things considered. Okay, opponent's just going for a dress down, which means that they are the Jeskai deck. Which also might mean that next turn, if they cast a Wrath of the Skies, we will be hurting. Okay. Let's see what they do. If they cast it to Fairy, we don't hate that situation either. But stopping our Johnny from getting the other cat is pretty bad. Okay, they're cracking their Flooded Strand. They are getting a Steam Vents untapped. Okay. I don't like where this is going. And they're just going to Galv Discharge a Johnny. That's about what we expected, honestly. Maybe the good counterplay there was just going for our Galv Discharge and trying to avoid a Wrath of the Skies. Okay. Opponent's yielding. We're going to crack this Marsh Flats and get a Raucous Theater. That Arid Mace is happily going to the bottom. Okay. Bowmaster. Bowmaster is pretty good. keep a Johnny on top. Let's go ahead and cast this. Get the energy. Do this. Cast the Johnny. Okay. Now we will go ahead and pump up this Amped Raptor. Diversify just a little bit. Now, could this opponent have it? Could they have a counterspell? Could they have instant speed removal? Do they have it? Okay, opponent force negations. They had an invert polarity. That's spicy. Okay. If they have a Wrath of the Skies here, we do at least have Bowmaster. Or if they even have a Supreme Verdict. I do like that, though. I mean, Flage probably hurts us a good bit, too. But it doesn't look like they're doing any of that. I think they might just be going for a... Okay, just Wrath of the Skies. X equals 2. Yeah. Okay, opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Let's, again, just make them have it. And the Bowmaster for the final life. And sick, we got there. Okay, so against Jeskai Energy, Jeskai Control, Sun Cleanser seems really good. Harsh Mentor could be nice. Is Dranith Magistrate what we want to bring in? We saw Invert Polarity, we saw Wrath of the Skies. I feel like Sun Cleanser is the good thing. What do we want to take out against them? Static Prison's pretty nice. Bowmaster's good. Chthonian Nightmare's fantastic. Sun Cleanser and Unlicensed Hurts feel like bad hits off of Amped Raptor. Unstable Amulet's good. I think we're just trimming around the edges a little bit. Soren's fine. Let's maybe trim a Ajani and an Unstable Amulet because everything else feeds into this so well. And despite the fact that Chthonian Nightmare is a one-of alongside Soren, Chthonian feels like uncuttable in any matchup. There's not a lot of exile-based removal in the format right now, so just keeping that around to just gain energy and bring something back is pretty big. But we have to bring in our Unlicensed Hearses to deal with their Flages. So, run it like that. Okay. So, we'll reveal Jegantha. Okay. See a sideboard card. Hand's keepable. 2 lands is a little risky. All things taken into account here. Like, there's just so much value with this deck. We're doing everything that we want to basically every single turn. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go for the Bowmaster here. And, or the Guide of Souls, and maybe go for Bowmaster with their second main. On their next turn, rather. Keep the Marsh Flats up. Alright. So, opponent got a Thundering Falls and didn't do anything. They just go for the Meticulous Archive this turn. Now, here's a real question. What do we want to bring in right now? Because Sorin seems good. Honestly, all of these cards look fantastic. I think we do have to go for Sun Cleanser, though. Because this is going to stop them from getting their Wrath and everything else that they could get. And, like, removing our creatures going to be impossible. Alright, so we'll target them. Now, was that Sacred Foundry a little loose? Probably. We should have definitely gone for the Blood Crypt there. But our brain was just on autopilot. Now, what our opponent would probably have to do is they would have to go for an instep dress down and then go for a main phase Wrath of the Skies as a means of getting around what we're doing right now. Because we've shut off the main pieces of removal that they have. Okay. We're going to play this Raucous Theater. We will keep that on top. Play this out and see what they do. Okay, they're just counterspelling that. Okay, what's our opponent going to do here? Okay. 4 mana, going for the One Ring. That's sick. We'll just cast this, target our Sun Cleanser. And say go. As good as it would have been to pump, I don't think that's really worth it for us. Opponent's down to 14. They're activating their One Ring. They're going to make our orcs bigger. Now what's kind of cool is if we cast this Ob Nixilis and we casualty it, they'll only get the original copy and we would still get the token copy, which is pretty neat. Okay, so they get another copy of the One Ring. They get protection again. And we'll deal a damage there. Now what's really good is if we get a land, we can go for a let's get a mountain here. Let's get a Sorin. Guide of Souls. Then we'll play a Johnny. We'll yield to the Extort, but we're not gonna do it. Gain some life. Is opponent just gonna get... Okay, they get an Elegant Parlor. Like, we're kind of stacked right now against this opponent. And we'll swing through with both of those. We'll choose not to do anything. Alright, Sorin flips. And then we will just plus Sorin. And say go. Okay, everything that we're doing right now just feels insane. And a Johnny and Sorin really play well with each other. Opponent has to have, like, just Supreme Verdict or Solitude here. If they're running something like Sunfall, I would be aghast. Okay, Wrath of the Skies, X equals 3. And let's see what our opponent does, because they shouldn't be able to get the counters. Unless layers. Layers are going to be annoying. Let's go! No layers! Okay, we will flip a Johnny. Okay, opponent. Draw some cards with your One Ring. And we get the match. Let's go. Alright, see you guys in match number 4. Alright, game number 2, and we're on the play. I mean, this hand does just about everything that we want it to. We've got obsidian to remove their stuff. I do think, however, we need to go for the sacred foundry here rather than going for the godless shrine. Okay. There's that. So now this is 2. Sick. Alright, we're doing this, and we're getting a raucous theater. That way we have all of our colors. We'll surveil. We'll surveil that into the yard. And then we'll attack here. And then we can give our obsidian charmal haste, which is pretty cool. Okay. So they're cracking this. What are they going to get? Oh. There's Kozilek's commanding? Okay. Yeah. So I think we honestly take out the Urza's Tower. No, we're going for the Eldrazi Temple. It's the only thing that taps from multiple right now. And we'll swing through. Hasty Obsidian Charmal is a chef's kiss. Okay, so they can go and get their final piece of Tron there. I think we're okay with that, because now we're just going to casualty this and actually, let's go ahead and attack first. Okay, now we can casualty this and do it like that. Okay, that's plus. And plus. Karn and Eldrazi Temple are really good for them to get rid of here. Let's see, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. We actually get... Okay, we don't get another copy of... Yeah. Okay, Karn And you now have 3 mana left over. I mean, you can Ballista for 1 and take out our Ocelot Pride. Though I guess the One Ring is pretty good too. Okay. So how do we want to do this? So I think it's Harsh Mentor. We're going to Static Prison the Karn. And then we'll just plus and plus. And say go. Alright, our opponent's down to 5. They're going to lose 2. Draw 2. Go down to 3. Play another power plant. Play a Karn. And yeah, we'll let Karn do that. If they get a Ballista, their Ballista activations are going to cause them some damage. Sick. Alright, we got there. Okay, I think we want to run it back. I think we do just run it back just like this. Maybe we go down all of the unstable amulets, because again, Karn is just such a house. And go Ajani, and I think we go Ajani and Obnixilis here. Okay. Hand with no sideboard cards. It's so tempting, but I think we gotta mull it. This is also a hand with no sideboard cards. And it's worse. Okay. Oh. Alright, mull to 4. Okay, we're gonna keep a couple of these things. I do like the Charmaw. I do like the Harsh Mentor. Okay. Alright, there's an Ugin's Labyrinth with an Ulamog under it and a Talisman. And an Expedition map. Wow, so our opponent's just ramping hard. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do this. Keep this Bowmaster on top. And we really have to hope that... Okay. Opponent plays Karn. What are they getting here? They get the One Ring. Okay. Let's go. for the Harsh Mentor. And then we can get rid of their Ugin's Labyrinth. Six mana. Sowing Mycospawn. Kicked. Getting rid of our Raucous is so bad. Alright, there's a tower. Oh. Oh no. We need a fetch. We need a fetch. More than anything else, we need a fetch land right now. It's not it. That is not it. Alright. Well, here goes everything. Alright. We're bowmastering that down. So, what's our opponent going to do here? They go for another Mycospawn, taking out our Godless Shrine. Alright. Tron is online, and they've got 5 mana. They could just take out our Harsh Mentor. Okay. Taking that out. Yeah. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Alright, well. Good news is we're still kind of in this. Bad news is I don't know how we're going to stay in this. Okay. So, we're tapping both of those. Okay. There we go. Question is, which of these are we getting rid of? So, Ugin's Labyrinth, they'll still have Tron. 8. They'll be able to add 2 counters. But they won't have Ulamog, which is important. And then they'll still have to deal with our Obsidian Charm on the air. There's no way that we're coming back into this. There's no way that we're clawing our way back. Okay. So they play another power plant. Okay, they're pumping down to 10. They're activating down to 8. They're activating down to 6. This would be an incredible win if we get there. Okay, opponent plays the One Ring. Down to one card in hand. They draw a card. They get an expedition map. We're going to block one of the Myco spawns. Okay. This is such a low resource game for us and our opponent. 2 galvanic discharges. This might be it. Okay. Our Tron opponent is down a creature. We've got a creature. They're going to be losing a life here. We might have gotten there. Okay. Opponent's fetching with their expedition map, getting a tower. They lose one. They need a big Eldrazi. Alright, they play their other tower. They play Devourer. Oh, we were so close. And the Thought-Knot Seer to take our other discharge. We were so close. I don't know what we can do to get through from here. I don't think there's anything. We could hit an Amped Raptor and maybe buy ourselves a turn. A Johnny, not gonna be it. Ugh, so brutal. Alright, see you guys in match number 5. Alright, so we're going to be on the play for game number 5. Hand is keepable. This is actually super keepable. 3 lands, 4 spells, and Ocelot Pride's one of them. Opponent's mulliganing. Ooh, and they're Spicy Milk. They're mulliganing to 5. Mulliganing this low probably means that they're Tron. Okay, well, Ocelot Pride is going to hopefully carry us a good bit here. Watery Grave. I don't like Watery Grave. There's a Fatal Push on our creature. Okay, so we're probably just going to go ahead and as much as we want to go for a Blood Crypt here, I don't know if we should. Okay. We're going for the Blood Crypt here. And we're just going to go ahead and cast it because we don't want to get blown out by a counter spell. So we'll still have a creature. Opponent's just playing Undercity Sewer, discarding Underworld Cookbook. Fatal Push. Okay. Good news. Obnixilis is going to do things. We're going to cast it with Casualty. It's unfortunately gonna have to be cast for a red mana. Okay. So let's go ahead and tick up on both of these. Opponent's not wanting to get rid of the cards in their hand. They play an Urza Saga. Does this just mean that they're Basim? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just make them discard some stuff here. Okay, not dead after all. Okay, they discard both. So we'll just keep all of ours. We're going to play this, take that out. Play this. Ooh, like that Amped Raptor on top. And then we'll just plus our opponent into Oblivion here. Okay, this was not necessarily a bad start for us. Opponent's got an Urza Saga in hand. Yeah, we'll pay the energy there. We will play this. And we get there. Alright, sick. Alright, so against what looks like a Basim opponent, what are we going to bring in? Harsh Mentor seems okay. And they do have Not Dead after all, so that probably means that they're a Grief deck too. Taking out their graveyard seems chill. And Wear Tear also seems good. Alright, and so now we do the thing where we trim around the edges. Blue-black means that they don't have any artifact removal. Sorin seems pretty bad. Trim into Johnny. We never trim on the 1-drops. I think with everything that we do, we never trim 1-drops. I do think cutting some of these unstable amulets might be fine, though. Because we do just keep getting cards off of our Amped Raptor. Alright. So, we're going to be on the draw. We'll keep... one land. I don't think we can do this, but our opponent is keeping 7. I think we have to and just hope that they just vomit their hand out, but it doesn't look like they are. Undercity gets rid of Dark Slick. We're going for this. And we're just going to high roll a land. We didn't high roll a land. We might be high roll dead. Yep, there's a Bowmaster. They're going to ping, hit with the army token. Yeah, we're pretty dead. This was a super risky keep, and the Harsh Mentors are bad now too. Okay. So we're kind of cool with this. We'll just Bowmaster their Bowmaster. Shocking that in. Okay. Well. Bowmaster there, Bowmaster. If they not dead after all, they're Bowmaster. Yeah. We'll keep going, but this is not looking pretty. Dare I say Chthonian Nightmare? Might be the best hit for us. And now we're taking out their... Okay. Again, not the greatest for us, but still pretty decent, I think. Oh god, this blue-black opponent is just going off. I think we'll chump. Okay. Well, we might be the chump right now. Yeah, unlicensed hearse is pretty bad. Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and scoop this one up. Our spicy milk opponent gets there. Okay, so these harsh mentors are trash. And let's go ahead and bring back, honestly, a Johnny and Soren. Both of them feel a lot better than anything else we could have been hitting in our games. Alright, we're going to be on the play. Reveal Gigantha. Hand is insane. Alright. Marsh Flat, Sago. Yield until end step. And Raucous Theater. We'll keep that on top. We'll do this. Let's get a Plains. And then we will go for a Amped Raptor. Don't hit a 3. It's the one thing we're asking. Hit a Najani. We like that. Okay. Opponent goes under City Sewer. And says go. Okay. They're playing Swamp. Alright, let's just... This is an obvious Bowmaster. Because they'll kill this. Double block. So let's swing like this. See what our opponent does. Okay. I like that. I like that. Now, I think the play here might be Flage. Dome him for 3. Okay, opponent's down to 12. Opponent goes Toxic Deluge. Okay. So we can go Chthonian Nightmare. Okay. So, we're going to go Ajani. And then we're going to go Chthonian. And then we're going to get back Amped Raptor. Sacrifice. Yes. Yes. We're happy with this. And then we will 0 Johnny, deal 2. Okay, I think we're in a pretty good position now. Opponent just plays a Swamp. They play an Underworld Cookbook. If we get a land? Okay. We have options. Our options are really, really spicy. So let's plus a Johnny. Opponent goes for Bowmaster. Okay. Alright, I think we do need to go ahead, do the Unstable Amulet. Let's go ahead and do this. See what we exile. I like this. And then we can move to combat. Opponent has to block. Okay. And then I think we just Blood Crypt. I think we're going to do this. Okay. We're just gonna tear their Urza. Oh no! We can't tear their Urza Saga! Oh, we tapped our mana so wrong! Okay. So, we did put ourselves in just a bit of a pickle here. Okay, opponent has Nile Spellbomb. That's actually so bad. Okay, we can make a cat. Yeah. Okay. So let's start by Unstable Amulet. We get another land. We can Johnny. Ping our opponent. Okay. Let's cast a where, targeting that. Ooh, opponent has the Oval Chase Daredevil. Okay. And I think we're just going to go ahead and play kind of a naked Obnixilis out. Make our opponent have to deal with 2 separate threats. Okay, they didn't shock it in. That's good. Opponent's just casting something here. Ooh, they cast Deep Analysis. Can't imagine that they're going to attack us. Okay. So both of those go after Ob. We're fine with that. Sure. Yeah. We will play this out. And go face with that. And say go. Oh man, we are just right at the edge of getting there. Okay, opponent's not going for anything. We'll exile Deep Analysis and Bowmaster. Okay, let's play an Elegant Parlor. Look at the top of our deck. Static Prison is fine, but I don't know if it's good enough. Let's do this. We'll play an Arid Mesa. Well, we can't actually. Let's go ahead and crew. And then we will plus a Johnny. Or 0 Johnny, have 4. Opponent can gain 3 life. We're super close. Super close here. Okay. Alright, we'll exile some cards from the yard. Okay, opponents back to 3. We just need a creature. We need a creature so badly. And we could be getting Giganta this whole time. I'm just now realizing. There are a lot of misplays, admittedly, that we've been making. Okay, opponent gets the Shadow Spear off of their Urza's Saga. Now, here's the thing. Do we let the Ajani go down so that we can Chthonian it back? I think the answer is yes. Okay. So I think we got one more land that we can fetch out. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. We can play Bowmaster. Ping, ping. We can... It's not Chthonian it back yet. Let's play a Johnny. And then we will win the game. Oh, we got there. All right, 3-2. Sweet. All right, I will see you guys in the wrap-up. Okay. So, what do we think about this Mardu energy deck? After a 3-2 record and a lot of misplaying, I think we can honestly say this deck is incredible, but you have to know what you're doing in order to run it. You have to know every line inside and out. We got really lucky in our game against Jeskai Energy by just sticking a Sun Cleanser on 2. And every other game seemed fairly winnable if we just top decked the right cards and just played a little bit tighter. Valspart's done really well, and our Valspart has had a really solid set of 5-0s over the last couple of days with this deck. So I think it's honestly something worth putting on your radar, and definitely considering taking to RCQs this season. But hey, that's been it for me. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make comments. Definitely point out every single misplay that I made in this game, this league. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.